as they face Grunto, we just saw them take down Gladiators Legion, and that's a team, and that was in week 1 that no one expected to be this good. And so let's see if Uprising Academy, now that they're up against Skyfoxes, UA arguably have one of the tougher, earlier schedules in this group. So this is another hard out for them, as Skyfoxes are going to be coming out with a guy named Hoon. Is that a Noon? Is that an H? Yes. Yep. That is Hoon on the Sombra this time. So the rotating carousel of Sombras continues for Skyfoxes. Lucio did such a good job on it, and now he's going to be on the Widow, which is something that he's known for, right? Maybe he just saw Wub. He's like, they were saying so many great things about Wub. I'm going to make them say those things about me. But Uprising Academy are going to go ahead and get that first take.
And Mirror on the Widowmaker this time around. Klaus picking up the Hanzo. Really interesting stuff. Mirror, really well known for his Zarya, Junkrat, and Pharah play. The Widowmaker, and Skyfox is going to swap Boostio onto the Sombra. He played Sombra when they fought against Phase 2. Who now on to Zarya, always a good hero to have when you're pressuring these points. But Uprising are already set up. However, they lose Swimmer almost immediately, but they do trade back with Clone Man. So Uprising Academy now functioning with that shield, whereas Skyfoxes don't. But as soon as the words leave my mouth, 2-1 down.
T-Watt is down thanks to Hoon, their new Zarya player this time around, deciding that Boostio is going to get that EMP a little bit faster. That he does. But if you need to draw a comparison, if you're a Skyfoxes fan on Boostio Sombra, I definitely look at Jaru on Envy. They play it very similarly, and that's what happens when you get DPS players on these Sombras. They're able to confirm those kills. It's not about farming EMP. You can farm some bodies as well. As we're approaching another engage here, Skyfoxes were able to flip that point. At the time that being an Uprising Academy going to reset a lot of those ultimate charges to take, a little bit more of a familiar comp for them. Swimmer and Scalar are going to be very low. EMP going to be coming through, so T-Watt not going to have a shield to protect his team. Klaus is going to fall as well. Skyfoxes are going to continue on this point.
And this is exactly how you want to wield a Sombra. Use EMP to win a fight, so in just 5 seconds, Hoon will have grab for the very next one. That's how you get into this really dangerous ultimate cycle. It's so hard for your opponents to break. However, now Punk will have a bomb. He's found some good success with solo bombs in the past, but Hoon again can just press that Q first and take Uprising Academy before they want to fight.
Love that camera angle. The Divas just coming in with their bodies, pushing those DPS out of the way. And someone else who's good at pushing out of the way is Clone Man, but also Punk apparently. So 2 kills going in both ways. Big self-destruct coming in from Uprising Academy. Punk going to get pieces along with Fear thanks to Clone Man's Earth Shatter. So Clone Man going to continue that momentum on his Reinhardt. And I've called this guy Clutch Man before, and this is why. He makes a play, and he's not just bound to one. He can make a couple during the same fight.
Never count Clone Man out. Uprising Academy, while Punk was able to make up for those 2 kills with his bomb, it's not enough. You have to continue to push through, and now they're going to be pushing straight into an EMP.
EMP hits every member of Uprising Academy last year to start things off with that kill. And that's another person that I'm sure we're going to be talking about a lot. Another Ana that is so very good. He came in with a lot of Zenyatta hype, but his Ana is pretty good as well.
Oh yeah, definitely a monster on both of those heroes. Scalar going to try his best to enable Mirror. He's so close to grab. Oh!
My goodness.
He was close to grab, but not the point. Man, we have seen so much letter number this season.
So, not all of them are as egregious as what we saw on Monday. I'm sure most of us
This was pretty egregious. I'm just gonna say.
And so, yeah, it's been happening pretty frequently. Some babies and some definites, right? I want to call that an R9 after Monday, because that was crazy. And honestly, Cloud C9s should not happen, right? I think with how the meta has shifted a little bit, we're so used to on goats just being on the point, right? That's not something that happens that often, but now that we're having more mobile characters, like, whose responsibility is it? It's like these players have had a hard time covering Mercy residents because it's just something they haven't seen in a while.
Right, you got to use some of that wrinkly brain to think about the point presence. Skyfox is now throwing Boostio on the 76, going to grab that high ground right away. Love this look from Skyfoxes. Reese has been super popular if you've got DPS to protect. And Skyfox has got that and more. You're running triple DPS here with Mac and Master on the Lucio Hanzo. Uprising Academy, they're like, yeah, no, we're not running goats into that. They're going to go with their own shield break. Scalar back on the Winston, or on the Roadhog. And Mira and Klaus going to be looking to set up some crossfire.
I am loving the crossfire. The only difference here is Boostio on the 76 and the Sombra. So they're choosing to get their damage in a different way. Skyfox is, though, going to find a little bit more Activity on the point objective proper. Scalar and Mira, though, going to start things off with 2 kills, and the rest of Skyfoxes are low. This should be Uprising Academy's fight, and that it is. A Scalar going to finish it off. They will be taking the point.
Mira's been great on this Widowmaker, actually. Uprising Academy taking, you know, a really quick flip right here. I mean, this is the thing. Anytime you're running a 76, is what utility are you using him for, right? Are you going to be using him as like a pseudo support to heal up, you know, the stationary part of your bunker? Are you going to be using him to try and, you know, get some shield break in? Because if you're shield breaking, then Roadhog is miles above a better value hero, and we saw that. Scalar just walked up and doinked Skyfoxes.
Yeah, those oink and yoinks as Lastro gonna go ahead and fall off the map. We'll see if that was caused by anybody or no one's gonna get credit, so maybe he jumped right before falling down. Very interesting play from Lastro.
Unlucky, but it does give Uprising Academy more free time, and Mira's gonna get him even more. That's like,
how did
that's just
do
such a
that?
feels bad, man. Widows should never lose against Widows.
No, it's just like, how do the Widows do that, right? Like, I don't think I can move my mouse that fast. It's just Skyfoxes and Uprising Academy are in a very different situation than they were on the last round, as Uprising Academy in complete control so far. Here in Mecha Base, Skyfox is unable to, they're just now getting to 50% on some of those ultimates. Lashma fell off the map a little earlier. Mirror is going to find another kill, 65, and they only need the Valkyrie from Uprising Academy, and this has been looking really good for them. Really good bounce back from the last map.
Yeah, this is night and day. The insane bounce back, a rebound for Uprising Academy, and Skyfoxes, they have to cross the walkway of peril. Doom, between the hook, the headshot crossfire from Mirror, the halt, the boop from Punk. You could well just get knocked into the ocean by, you know, the environmental kills from Uprising Academy as you try and close the distance, because Skyfoxes have no long distance damage. The closest are going to be Hoon's grenades and boost you if you get into the backline. You will have EMP though. He's looking for the supports.
He's going to find Swimmer, and he's going to be able to clip him out of the game. Klaus, though, is going to take advantage of the fact that I think they were depending so much on the Sombra that he's going to throw his Dragon Strike and take 2 kills. Earthshatter is big, so is EMP from Skyfox. So what are you going to do with just a Sombra on the point? Uprising Academy are going to take this round. There's another 3-rounder here on Control. Anyone's game.
It really is unexpectedly competitive to start out this match. Uprising Academy innovating. They're not gonna. They know they're gonna most likely lose goats v goats, so we're not gonna play your goats shenanigans. I'm a carnivore. Thank you. I enjoy my meat. So Uprising Academy going with more DPS this time around instead. And Scalar's Hog, while it didn't make a huge impact on downtown, worked wonders on Hangar and could do the same here on Sanctuary, especially if Uprising Academy can get to point first. It's gonna be a hard thing if Max stays on this Lucio, but Uprising Academy, once they get set, once they sink their foundations in, it's going to be very hard to dislodge.
Yeah, Skyfox is going to be running with a very similar comp that did not work for them on a Mega Base, but it might be a little different on Sanctuary. I think 76 is just better on this map because of the environment. He can play Ring Around the Rosie as long as he wants. Those, even though those legs are old, they're still very fast with that sprint. You utilize that so well here on the drum circle of a Sanctuary. Uprising Academy are going to take some damage. Mirror's going to be the first one to go down to a dangerous level. Nice biotic grenade from the Lastro already at 26%. Mirror going to get that kill, but just because of that, Uprising Academy are not going to have that much more of an advantage. Mirror needs to find another one, which he does. 2 kills now for Mirror. Is this just going to be like the birthplace of Widowmakers so far? Logix is gone, and he leaves, a place for these Widowmakers to take over. And so thank you, Mr. Logix, for helping the, next group of Widows. He appears Mirror is going to be potentially one of the ones that, is going to be the next Logix here Contenders.
Wub was already lighting things up just last game, and now Mirror trying to do the same with his own Widowmaker. And Skyfox is stymied here. Bucio is going to swap off of the 76 onto the Tracer. I would say a very wise move. We've seen Tracers do great work on Sanctuary. It's so open. There's so much space for you to dart around and exploit those angles that this could be a really good pick. I mean, the 76 was not working, so might as well give this a shot. Who's also really close to the EMP.
The Dragon Strikes to start things off for Skyfox is not going to get CC'd and taking it down. That hook was very good from Scalar's. Tried trades going both ways. 4v4 now for Skyfoxes and Uprising Academy. I'm actually going to like Boostio here on the Tracer in this situation. Swimmer, though, going to get a nice res off, and then Cloud's going to get a kill on it too. Who are you? So the res changes the face of this fight completely. Uprising Academy are going to maintain control. They really haven't lost it since Mega Base.
No, and who are you going to swap immediately to the Genji? Honestly, his Hanzo looks a little bit rusty. Earlier, he missed a Sonic Arrow, shot it into the wall, and then he bungled a wall climb and got taken down by Klaus. So could just be lack of practice. You know, Hanzo's not super popular, never was popular all during GOATs, so we're going to give the Genji a try, and Who Are You is a world-class Genji. You don't need a 6-man wipe, you only need a couple picks.
EMP goes through. 3 members of Uprising Academy are going to get hacked. The Pulse Bomb's not going to find anything, but the kills have already gone Skyfox's way, so now Uprising Academy are going to try to delay the cap as long as possible, maybe even stall it out as long as they need, because they have entered that one-fight territory. Get over 80%, 85 is exactly where you want to see it flip. And Skyfox were unable to flip it beforehand, so Uprising Academy are just 1 fight win away from winning this map.
And against Skyfoxes, no less, considered by many one of the top 3 teams in this group. And Who Are You? Close to his blade. So Uprising Academy, I would say these are some wise swaps here. You do want to have at least a sound barrier here to nullify the Genji blade. Clone Man, though, can buy his team a lot more time. So Uprising Academy, unless they can force an ultimate out, which seems unlikely, just go for a bit of an eco push. Don't expect too much. You just wholesale swap every hero.
And so they're going to make it onto the objective proper altogether like they should. Uprising Academy, though, are not going to fall victim to this Pulse Bomb, but Skyfoxes are taking some damage. Clone Man already using that ultimate, trying to take some of the map geometry away from them. And Who Are You? Going to get stunned, but he's going to leave out of it. So out there, going to keep him alive. He's going to get a couple kills with a Dragon Blade. All the cooldowns were used on him, and none of them worked. A nice deflect kill onto Zarya. The mirror Zarya is going to make it a clean blade from Who Are You? Skyfoxes will maintain control. Remember, Uprising Academy only looking for 1 more fight win.
And Skyfoxes know they've largely expended their entire ultimate bank in that last fight, so they're going to swap to their own Ana Goats. A little bit behind Uprising Academy now, which means Hoon's EMP needs to land to buy them a bit more time to even things up, but it's going to be hard with Boostio taking a nap.
EMP is going to hit 4 members of Uprising Academy. Tinawa wasn't hacked, but he's going to go down anyway. Pump's going to get hacked the old-fashioned way, and then slept at the same time as Boostio in the backline trying to get some more damage in. His energy could be higher. That could potentially be the difference, but at least they were able to take Zarya on the other side to make it even.
Yeah, and Skyfox is able to press the pause button with the EMP. That's exactly what you want to see. You've now at least given yourself a shot to get Shatter, to get Grab, and those are the ultimates that are going to win you this round, because Skyfoxes have largely evened things up. They're now eclipsing Uprising Academy, who need to make them move soon.
Their move is going to be now or never. Punk going to throw that self-destruct in the backline, and Cloud's going to get first blood. That's going to set Uprising Academy up for a potential map win here against Skyfox, who have brought it back to 99%. Clone Man is going to use Earthshatter, so is Tinawa, but Tinawa is going to take Clone Man down. The Earthshatter is going to be better for Uprising Academy, who are on the brink. They have flipped the point. Now Skyfoxes are in miracle territory now. The Graviton Surge is going to take someone out. Tinawa is going to get another kill. Mac and Boostio back in spawn. They are able to get overtime started, but this is all Uprising Academy so far on the objective for this fight. No one is able to get onto the point. Uprising Academy started out 1-0 against Skyfoxes, and that is what you need if you're Uprising Academy. You got to start things off strong as Skyfoxes fall to UA.
Skyfoxes falling to the earth feels bad, man, especially given how dominant they were on downtown. But Uprising Academy, you're totally right, Boop. I mean, you're an underdog in this series. If you don't start things off hot, you're just, how can you heat things up afterwards? It's just going to become more and more lukewarm. Then you fall into cold, then you fall into freezing, and then you're in relegation. And nobody wants to see that happen to Uprising again. So things looking pretty up on Control, and hopefully we can see, those good moments continue to push Uprising through, because Control is one of those map types where if you're a good brawler, if you can find those picks yourself, then you're going to be doing pretty well for yourself. You don't have as many set team fights, but now as we move into Assault in particular, and in particular on Volskaya, where you need to have that teamwork, not just on attack, but on defense, hard to find these days, that's where Uprising Academy will really be tested.
Yep, definitely. And the other thing about Skyfoxes that we haven't talked about at length so far is who is the third person to carry that Sombra torch for Skyfoxes so far.
Sombra Zarya.
Yeah, right. and Skyfoxes were a Sombra team when Buds was on there. And it seems like they've been trying to recreate whatever Buds has brought that team. And honestly, it hasn't been as strong. But when Buds was on Skyfoxes was much more dominant in their wins. They still have, a good, undefeated record. They're still 2-0, but the Sombra hasn't been as good as when it was Buds on that Sombra. Hoon is, part of, nice team. He's part of the Meta brand, playing for both Meta Bellum and Meta Athena in the past. So he's got experience, but anytime you're entering a new team, anytime you're going to function with that ping as well, it's going to be difficult. And if Skyfoxes don't get it together and, even though it's just one person, but consistently have a roster, right? Regardless of your substitutions, you got to have your guys in, and the more changes they have to deal with, the harder it becomes later in the season.
Exactly. You can't expect your new player to be a Cameron, right? To just plug and play and expect that everything's going to go perfectly as if you've been, playing together for ages. And so I'm wondering if the fact that Skyfox's Sombra Goats look hasn't been as strong this season is not just because they've been swapping, who plays Sombra basically every week at this point, but also because other teams have gotten way more used to playing against Sombras and have started running their own. So they know what to expect. They know where the strengths and weaknesses of that comp lie. Because, oh my God, I'm never going to forget how Skyfoxes rolled Atlanta Academy that first week, right? And it feels bad, and it was kind of funny. Last season, sorry. Last season it was felt bad because it was so dominant, but you could also tell that it was because of kind of roster issues that their opponents were having, and just the fact that Sombra was so new. Nobody knew what her
overall impact would be.
Her impact would be and how far you could push her. So now things are evening up, and Skyfoxes just can't rely on Sombra to win them each match each time.
And so let's see if they're going to try something else. I believe Skyfoxes have never run a D.Va so far this season of the Contenders, and the free fall of D.Va in the meta continues as most teams have actually let it go. And the teams that are still running the D.Va are the ones that are struggling a little bit. So maybe some adjustments have to be made. And the thing about being a D.Va player now is you were already supposed to be your flex player, right? You're playing Mei, you're playing Pharah at the same time, right? You're playing Sombra. That's the most important one. But other teams will have an opportunity like what Mirror is doing right now, where their Zarya or their Brig will play Sombra, which allows some other things to happen. But throughout all of that, you're probably not running D.Va.
That seems to be the consistent thing through all of these comps. Nobody saw that last row. So Uprising Academy now with a chance to set the pace on Volsky. Okay, well, that feels bad. Gonna take the long way around once more. No opening anti-nade for Lastro here, but he doesn't have to feel too bad. Uprising Academy are going to take that time and swap over to their own on a Goats.
Third time's the charm. Is he gonna go for it? Hey, he was able to get it that time. So that's already looking better for Skyfoxes. Remember, Lastro did fall off the map earlier, so this is an improvement. Skyfoxes now going to be on the defensive side to start things off. Uprising Academy with Scalar on the Ana this time around. I like Scalar. He's been a very good Zenyatta in the past. Let's see how he fits in, because he is replacing Dino. This is the second week, and I love what Uprising Academy is doing. This Chicken Contendies was actually the first team I saw do this, because they were forced to, because they were running a Nano Ryan, and that's actually
because they were running Gig.
Yeah, and Gig knows how to charge into a fight, and the fight has started happening right now as we see Moon's perspective as he goes down from Punk, and Punk on this D.Va actually is I'm going to take back everything I said. If anyone's been finding success just recently, Punk on the D.Va's been running the best interference I've seen this one map today. Zero Shatter, though, going to come in from Clone Man, take 3 onto the ground. 3 members are going to be hacked as well as this team's going to throw that EMP. Taylor, though, still finding some frags. This is still anyone's game. As sleep going on the Clone Man, he's going to wake up right away. Just a little cat-nap for him. As who are you going to get painted purple? Fusio getting back into spawn, and here on the point, it's pretty much a 4v4.
Oh, Punk took down Fusio with his fist as baby D.Va. That is just man alive. Gets back right back into mech, and Uprising Academy, after quite the brawl, are going to be able to take this what a turnaround. I mean, Boostio even got EMP in the first fight. Oftentimes when we see Sombra goats falter, it's because the Sombra doesn't have ult within the first fight. You press Q, you expect to, you know, win the fight here. But despite the EMP, despite the nano Lastro invested on Clone Man and a beautiful shatter, Uprising still pull things back. And it's in large part because of Punk able to pick up those last second frags.
Graviton Surge from downtown, only going to lock up Clone Man, who's going to be free to shatter afterward. Scalar going to be on at the ground, so is Mirror. Mirror is hacked, but the sound barrier is there just in time. Will this land? No, it does not, as the translocate happens right away. T-Watt's going to get nano. He's going to get an Earth Shatter of his own. Lancer's on at the ground. He's going to be locked up in the Graviton Surge, so he's going to be unable to charge into it and get that kill. As Clone Man going to find first blood here on the point B. Punk going to follow that up, so it's still a 5v5 as Clone Man has that nano on him. This is going to be all Clone Man all day with that nano and a help with that sleep. That's a brutal charge for Skyfoxes. That looks good for them, and they hold on this defense.
Goal! Skyfox is not going to bungle another opportunity. Great EMP again from Boostio, who had a little bit of a hard time warming up last week, but now has really come into his own with the Sombra, and that EMP is still so deadly. Uprising Academy didn't have the tools that time around to rebound back from it, and so they got to give it another go sans ultimates, and those kinds of wins have been really hard to find.
Boostio is going to try to stop in the name of love. That's what I think about every time she holds her hand out, trying to get that hack. Stop. And then he's going to get hacked anyway. Skyfoxes and Uprising Academy are going to meet on a point B once more. We're going to see that proper engage here very shortly as Clone Man going to utilize that particle barrier to try to get some space. But T-Bot not allowing him to do that as the nano going to come out from Uprising Academy first, and that's going to be countered with the sound barrier. Lastro's going to have to wait for a nano himself. Good charge. He's going to take T-Bot out of the, out of the timing of that nano. Ethan's going to get that fire strike kill. He's not going to find as much value out of that nano, but the Earth Shatter, though, is going to find that Dice here, and Klaus is going to get some follow-up kills. Skyfoxes are going to be hard-pressed to come back on this.
It's not looking very likely, but the nano comes in anyways, and Punk blows Boostio to Kingdom Come as Uprising Academy complete great style,
This
too.
might be a day of surprises, my friends at home, as Uprising Academy looking clean right now, as they're going to have 3 minutes and 50 seconds in their time bank, and they were pretty dominant throughout most of that. Skyfoxes had a couple defenses themselves, but now on the attacking side, Boostio has to make something happen with this Sombra. He definitely had some warm-up time last week, really showing up on maps 3 and 4, but right now you don't want to find yourself a couple maps behind. Skyfoxes might find themselves in that situation if they can't quite put it together continuing on in Volskaya.
And that's the scary thing. There's only 4 maps. You need 3 to win. How much warm-up time is too much warm-up time? Although Skyfoxes honestly didn't play with the Sombra poorly, it was just that they were so overtaken by Uprising Academy. They died with ult, right? Boostio died with EMP, Hoon died with Grav, and you got to leave it all on the field, man. If you're getting taken down before you can use ultimate, then it's just a miscalculation on your part. Thought that maybe the fight wasn't going as poorly as it would, thought that you might be able to recruit more, maybe thought that Uprising didn't have as many ultimates as they did, and you just gotta change the calipers right there, dial it in, because Skyfox's EMP into Grav could have been a fight winner.
They were unable to get it. It kind of reminds me in zombie shows when the horde comes and some people just get overtaken, right? They're just not fast enough. And it seemed that Skyfoxes were trying to defend against the horde that was Uprising Academy and just were overtaken. The war of attrition was won by Uprising Academy. They had more at the right time, and so they were able to win in that situation. Skyfoxes, now on the attacking side, they're still going to run this top Sunset Diva because Boostio is on the Sombra. Who's going to be on the Zarya this time around? We've seen him switch, but I do think that Boostio is going to be a little bit of a better look if he's able to find the magic he found last week against Stage 2. And Uprising Academy finding the magic right now on the defensive side. They haven't really had to do much so far. Skyfoxes hasn't officially staged the way that these rotations work. They're going to feed a ton of ult charge, hopefully, to T-Watt. He needs to find his way out, which he does, and at this point, after these rotations, he should be at about 60 to 70% ult charge, but that's not quite happening.
No, he wasn't going to step straight into that hallway 1v6, so he's only 47% right now after getting a little bit tickling in. And poor Mirror is down, not having so much luck with this Sombra, which bodes very poorly for this defense.
Yeah, T-Watt just unable to get anything going on in this season. You really want to get that primal rage at the beginning of this fight, because Skyfoxes have already gotten the upper hand. He's going to get the nano, he's going to primal rage, and he's going to be slept and then pushed away as well. So he's just going to be fighting the error for the time being. He's going to be taken very low. Skyfoxes should have overcome this. They're going to be the Horde this time around, as Uprising Academy are going to have to defend on B for the Horde, by the way.
Yep, throwing it out there. Skyfoxes playing a really good and disciplined game. I mean, they did everything that they needed to do, everything correctly. They rotated without exposing their backline, right? Kept everybody safe and alive, tried to pepper in damage where they could, and took advantage of vulnerable members of Uprising Academy. It was just a really clean and, you know, well-disciplined fight. However, now we gotta take a look at the ultimate battle. Mirror is very close to that backline, has the EMP, gonna be hunting for the support.
All 6 members of Skyfoxes are hacked, but it's not the end of the world. You can defend against it if everything goes your way, but nothing really goes your way if you're Skyfoxes right now. Actually, only one casualty so far from up. If Swimmer's going to get his counterpart, Mac is going to be unable to use the sound barrier to continue to save his team. And Swimmer is going to get 3 kills in this skirmish. The guy's not even a Lucio main, he's a Mercy main, and he's just this good at playing support. Skyfoxes, without the help of Mac on this Lucio, are gonna fall, and they used everything other than this EMP and sound barrier, so Uprising Academy have what they need to defend.
Right, that was a big investment for Skyfoxes to come out the loser in that fight, and Swimmer, that's, you know, getting a couple frags definitely gonna help you get close to the sound barrier, which they'll need against Boostio's EMP. As long as the order of operations goes Uprising Academy's way, it goes up EMP first, then you drop the sound barrier. If you risk sound barrier first, the EMP can nullify all of those overshields, so gotta be careful.
And we've seen that happen the wrong way a bunch of times. The T-Bar gonna get hacked, and the particle barrier is gonna save them for any incoming damage that wasn't quite coming just yet. Oh, goodness gracious. Who are you gonna get bursted down? Cloneman and Last Year doing the same imitation of Who Are You's HP bars there, as they're going to get rebuffed once more.
Yeah, that's the power of having a great DPS player on your Sombra. You know, a lot of times we take a look at these fights, it's goats v goats, Sombra goats v Sombra goats, and what's the difference if you're going to be? Well, you always need to look at the ultimate, but if you can find an early pick, that's so much the better. And where can you find those early picks? Anas, Zens, even a Lucio or a stray Zarya nade, but when you have a DPS player like Mirror on Sombra, she could be in the back line wearing fools down and you don't even know it.
Good reaction coming in Who Are You here away. And now the EMP is going to go through, and it's going to come both ways. They're both going to be able to get the sound barriers off, but the purple's going to hit Skyfoxes a lot harder than it is Uprising Academy. T-Watt, though, going to use that Earth Shatter, kill Clone Man with the Earth Shatter proper. Who Are You's also going to die. Skyfoxes have already used 3 or 4 fights here and have gotten nothing going here on a 10-player kill streak on the Sombra.
Oh, he is feeling hot right now, on fire, and for good reason. He is really feeling this Sombra, and it feels, you know, Boostio just has not had the same amount of production. Uprising Academy, though, are going to be relying on this EMP most likely. They don't have any tank ultimates up, though. The Rally and Nano are available. It's all about that dance. Who's going to decide to commit to a hard push before the other? Boostio already applying some pressure on the objective, drawing Uprising Academy back, and Swimmer showing up in the kill feed once more. This just can't happen, man. So many times we see these Sombras get taken down by backline fragger, you know, or stray Brigitte, and your job is, you know, great if you can find those kills, but your job is to apply pressure and find utility with those hacks. It's much better to go for the safer play than to go for the risky play and then just
Swimmer, though, gonna find himself a kill. Fire Strike grips through Skyfoxes to start things off. Who Are You already very, very low, needing to use the rally to give his team any sort of chance. Boostio also CC, needing to use that translocator already. Earth Shatter gonna start things off for Clone Man. EMP is gonna follow it up, though. Uprising Academy gonna find that first casualty, and that's going to be a Mirror. So this is a 5v5 as Cubs is gonna find another one. Skyfox now and Uprising Academy on even footing here on the point, and the pin's gonna go the way of T-Watt. in the Mega Pack room, and Uprising Academy are going to get another defense. 2 minutes and 20 seconds left for Skyfoxes to find an attack that works.
It's looking more and more dire for Skyfoxes, and that grab from Hoon caught all of Uprising Academy on the high ground inside that tiny room. It'd be very difficult for anybody to capitalize on that, and it didn't look like anybody was in position to do so either. So questionable ultimate usage from Hoon. If he had just saved that for this fight, you could see the EMP grab combo come through, which is very powerful. As it stands, though, Uprising Academy will have not only Shatter, but grab at the ready. They might need to use both, but they got both. They only need to hold for 1 minute 45 seconds.
Gustio is hunting the team. He cannot get spotted out. If he does, it could be bad news for the rest of the team. Punk already gonna take it. Someone from Skyfoxes down, and you saw the hesitation from Bustio there. He was in the air, the pick came through from Uprising Academy, and he decided to use the EMP.
You bring up a really good point, that second of hesitation. We've seen this from Bustio specifically before. Skyfoxes, when they fought Phase 2 on Paris, Phase 2 just decided to grab all of Skyfoxes first. Bustio was in position. He hesitated for a second, and then he was left, standing there empty-handed while the rest of his team died. And unfortunately, those kinds of miscommunications are what are going to sink you against a team who's playing really well right now, like Uprising Academy.
They had the EMP, they've got the Shatter. EMP Shatter we saw from the last couple of games can be absolutely brutal to the opposing team. They've got everything except for this grab. That's actually some really good rotation, because all they need is the EMP this time around, as Boozy is trying to hunt for Mirror. That's why he's spraying in a circle. EMP gonna hit 4 members of Skyfoxes. Earth Shatter Art is going to follow. 2 members will be on the ground. The hacks are still there, but everyone from Skyfoxes survives the initial engage from Uprising Academy. This is going to give Skyfoxes a really great opportunity to do the same thing on the other side, as Tidwat forced to use a shield, even though he is nanoed to walk back. He doesn't have a nano to keep himself alive. This Graviton Surge is really not much to counter it outside of this sound area that's been reused, but really not a lot of effectiveness. Was there even any? Is Bustio going to get that first pick, and it's a 6v5 for Skyfox on it, the objective second pick, and this is where we're talking about the props of the DPS finding themselves on the Sombra. They can find these picks a little bit more frequently than the Divas can, as 2 ticks already gone for Uprising Academy. Skyfoxes are looking prime. They're going to be able to take this point in overtime. Uprising Academy not able to do enough to stop them in at the end, but at least Skyfoxes finished the map. Uprising Academy, though, playing much better than we had gotten used to seeing them play. This is definitely a step up in terms of that work so far.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. And, Uprising Academy, they got some new members on the team, also changed up their coaching staff, which probably has also helped just give them a fresh look, right? And they certainly do look fresh and well prepared for what Skyfoxes are bringing, who now can only hope for a draw. They must hold Uprising Academy off of 1 tick for 3.5 minutes, which is quite the Mount Everest to climb. And in the end, Uprising Academy, I feel like, handed Skyfoxes that win. They had more tools, I think. Well, they had tools I think they could have gotten a bit more with. Nano Boost went on to Tidwat, as well as Ally Bubble from his Zarya, but for whatever reason, Uprising Academy did not push forward. Tidwat kind of shielded for a second, then just swung his hammer, in place, and we didn't really see big capitalization off of that nano boost. And so Uprising Academy kind of gave away their hand. Skyfoxes then knew that the EMP, they had EMP, and Uprising Academy had nothing, and they swung their way. So hopefully a mental lapse like that won't happen again for Uprising Academy on their attack. It is very, very doable for them to bring this to a 2-0 against Skyfoxes. You just got to keep the ship tight.
Taylor looking at this hog, deciding not to use it. He would be the one who plays it in this situation. It's Uprising Academy going to go ahead. Let's Goats with Scalar on the Ana instead of the Zen. This has become more and more popular as time has gone on. If you've got an Ana, you should use it. Scalar has shown himself to be a proper Ana in the past. Let's see if Skyfoxes are going to be able to react accordingly, because they've got a really good Ana on their team. But he's on Zen right now. That's going to be Lastro for them. Their flex support player is Bustio going to get spotted out by Punk, who's going to be taken to below 100 health. He is going to survive, but look at the HP bars for Uprising Academy. Not only is that going to stop this push, it's also meaning that Uprising Academy are feeding a ton of ult charge into Skyfox, which can't be represented from Poman with Tidwat.
Oh, Lastro showing his stuff there on Zen. Even when he's not on it, it's on Ana. It's okay. he can still pick up the frags, and Punk unfortunately took up the Bionade from Scalar. So just like you said, Boop, when you saw Titawat, Klaus, and Mirror both go super low trying to fight Skyfoxes on the high ground, there was no burst healing coming their way. You know, even with an Ana on your team, you got to be very judicious with that Bionade usage. And sometimes, you know, you just got to be like, tanks, come back here, yo. We only got so much healing for so many of you.
Boostio searching for that translocate. Oh wait, very beautiful placement with that translocator. That was intentional. That's so great to see, especially coming from a Boostio, because it's not a play that came out of nowhere. That was intended from the beginning, knowing exactly where that translocator was, because they play around with these translocators. Sometimes you can lose track of it, but Skyfoxes on this defense have brought Uprising Academy to 2 minutes.
Yep, and Hoon now with the Grav has yet another way to shut Uprising's push down, but while Uprising themselves still working up to some of those ultimates. Scalar, though, does have a nano boost, which could turn the tide here. They just gotta be careful about those early picks. Everybody is stronger when they're together.
And so the defense matrix from Punk has already been used. A lot of it has been used. It's probably going to recharge in time, but if you're a Zarya player, you got to track. When you see those pixels of that defense matrix, you know that you have a free grab coming your way. That's how you get an eat. When you don't do that, the Graviton Surge is going to first solo the Zarya. Mirror is going to be taken down, and this is, you know, quantity is not better than quality in this situation. Is Titawat going to get nanoed and walk backwards once again? You got to be confident. Once you get that nano, Titawat, we see him, man. When you're glowing like that, it's hard to miss, but when you put up your shield right away, that's not the confidence I'm looking for when it comes to my Reinhardt.
Yeah, exactly. And you basically kind of just thrown away one of your Ana's resources, too. That is a big ultimate invested and nothing for it. However, 60 seconds left. This is Uprising's only opportunity, and it's not a terrible opportunity either. You're really playing with fire there. If he had been taken down, that is probably Uprising's hopes dead. They got 3 check marks. They're so close to 4, but they need to work through these 4 ultimates first. Order of operations going to be extremely important. Swimmer cannot drop Soundberry before this EMP comes out.
He's got to get there first. Scalar would get to a Nana. Those Anas are very good at developing, especially if this team is getting a ton of damage on them on the objective. It's going to use that rally. His third is damage just a little bit. The self-destruct is in the air. Doesn't find anybody. The Soundberry there has been used for Skyfoxes. Big shatter, though, coming through from Uprising Academy. Titawat must have heard me, my friends. He gets 4 onto the ground. They get 3 kills to start things off. Who will be the next to fall? Uprising Academy will get to this point and maps win. Move up 2-0 against Skyfoxes. And once again, another surprising result. Skyfoxes coming in here. A lot of people thinking top 3 team. But right now, Uprising Academy are up 2-0. Skyfoxes are going to look for the reverse sweep to put themselves back on top of the standings.
Oh, Skyfoxes, it's really unfortunate right there at the very last second. How many times have we seen it happen on Volsky? You've been doing so amazingly, and then in the last 20 seconds of the entire map, you drop the ball, somebody gets picked off, and it was actually Klaus. Klaus died first, but because of that amazing shatter from Titawat, a great grab coming in, you know, they were able to pick things back up. So, I mean, I'm very bolstered if I would be very bolstered if I was an Uprising Academy fan, because Skyfoxes, you know, they're not, you know, anything to sniff at. They're a very strong team that just seemed a little bit unprepared this time. This has been, you know, a bit of a common thread so far today, especially is these, you know, these very powerful teams who have been historically strong getting taken advantage of kind of by, you know, the little Davids in the David and Goliath matchup.
Yeah, these little Davids have been a lot stronger than a lot of people have expected in both groups. Like, I love saying it because it's such a cool storyline that all of the Trials teams, all of the unsigned teams have been hyper competitive. And, you know, Skyfoxes isn't, you know, technically signed, right? But they definitely have the players, I think, to be that team. But Uprising Academy, another Academy team, they are a Trials team. Remember that. They did drop into Trials. They had to win their way back. They did in dominant fashion, came into the season, goes down 0-2, you know, to a schedule that didn't seem as strong at the beginning, but now 2 weeks later feels, you know, very strong. Uprising Academy are on that upward trajectory, and Skyfoxes just happen to be the team that faces them in week 3, in my opinion.
Exactly. Uprising Academy are like teething right now, and they're all chomping into Skyfoxes. And but hey, that's the first half, right?
Yep.
anything is possible. Get some Capri Sun in, eat some granola bars. We're snacking on protein bars ourselves. Just keeps yourself topped up.
It's not
Get
for
some
the
energy.
muscles.
This is definitely
Yeah.
not. There's a reason we're wearing these jackets. Just saying. These are sleeveless tank tops. So we're sparing all of you some horror show.
Yep, and blindness because of how white my arms are. But, let's go ahead and take a break now because that's a really great segue. Uprising Academy up 2-0 right now against Skyfoxes. Let's see if they're going to be able to continue that momentum after the break.